Okay, so you asked for a sort of day-to-day of what I do. So I start here in bed, looking up at the light. Eventually, I get up and I get dressed in this sort of space here. These are a pair of slippers that I sometimes wear. And then I come out into the hallway, where I have a pile of clothes over there, which are the clean clothes pile, which I just sort of yeet up the stairs. I've got music on in the background because I was exercising, and you know it's nice to have background music. But yeah, that is the clean clothes pile that I walk past every day. Every sort of week or so, I will sort through it, put all the clothes away, and any non-clothes get put in it, such as this pink thing that I just spotted, duster rag thing. I go and put in its appropriate location. But that's usually later on in the day. I'm going to turn the music down because the neighbours can probably hear it. It's not usually that loud unless I'm sort of running. So this belongs in here, which is my storeroom. But, so, once I've gotten up, got dressed in some manner, yeah, so getting dressed, oh no, I forgot. Oh well, as I didn't bow in, I won't bow out. Yeah, so I get dressed in whatever manner it is, like pajamas, just undies, clothes, whatever. I come downstairs, go through here. I sometimes go to the loo first thing. Come in here, turn on Charlie's radio for him, open up all the curtains, say hello to Charlie boy. Then I check on his food, and if need be, change that. Same with the water. And then I go and either make myself breakfast or not, depending on how I'm feeling. But I have an excellent example. I have a pile of clothes here, which is the dirty clothes pile, which I fill up a watering can to go outside, water the plants, and the watering can is kept in the conservatory, along with some of the plants. And that's where the actual, like, washing thing is. So when I have dirty clothes, like if I'm in the shower or something, I just throw them at the back door, they land, put them in there first thing. Then the watering can isn't actually in here at the moment. It's over here. But usually it's kept in the conservatory. So usually I'll fill this up and go around and water various plants. Including but not limited to this one, which I think isn't going to survive the fact that it's been potted, to be honest. This one, which is more promising, that it might survive the fact it's been potted. I don't water this one very often because it's not got any holes in the thing. It's a bin that it's sitting in, so it doesn't need to be watered very often. But I'm not sure if that one's going to survive or not. These ones, that one over there, because I planted it recently. Pretty much all the ones that are in pots, along with one out the front of the garden. Then I come back and I get my fishing net from when I was like 11, which has been taped to an old snooker cue that I found on a walk, and I go through the pond. And I get rid of as much of the random bits and bobs that have fallen into the pond as I can, without the little net getting too full. However, there's a lot of bits that sink to the bottom and I don't notice. I then flip it out upside down so it can dry off and all the bits will blow away. Oh, I've got to fill up the bird bath. I don't do that every day, but I do need to do that today, it seems. So, yeah, there are two, as far as I can tell, newts living in the pond at the moment. Otherwise, I would drain all the water and give it a clean. But because they're living there, I let it sit and it's full of algae and whatnot now. Which isn't great in my opinion, but whatever. That's just how it is. The bird bath is now reasonably full. I have an attachment on the water butt, a hose going to the bird bath for that. Sometimes then I will do some gardening, but not every day. And then almost every day I stick the kettle on before I water the plants, and then make myself a cup of tea to drink while, after taking off my ring, watch and prayer beads, do the washing up. Hence why the washing up is done. But I always generate more washing up, which isn't great. After which, I usually, well then, by that point, need the loo, but not always. And then I'll sort of check a couple things. But I would like to say before moving on, I may be moving back to sleeping in this room. It's a bit of a pain getting to the bed at the moment, but I can sort that out without too much hassle. This used to be my bedroom when I was younger, in which case I will start off sleeping in here rather than upstairs, but everything else will probably stay pretty much the same. Then I'll leave that open, let some light in. Occasionally, in the mornings, I will open up the curtains here, if it's not too bright, because this is my office with my desk and whatnot. But sadly, the office with the desk and whatnot is, well, it gets too bright in there and I can't see the screens very well. And also, I'm not very good with the whole, light. I'm very sensitive to it. One moment, the camera's going to do a weird thing because I've got a bow in, which is something I've established today. That's entering and leaving the exercise room. I've got to do the bow that I would usually do for entering and leaving the Kung Fu. Kwun, it's called. Like dojo, training area, whatever. Running machine, I always keep water in now. That's going to need refilling when I'm done with this. But the reason I came in here is because the next thing that I usually do after watering the plants, doing the washing up, drinking a cup of tea, is I check my weekly to-do list. So today is Tuesday, so Monday's been entirely crossed off, which means I did well yesterday. Got a bow again to leave. So today I've crossed off washing up because I had excess washing up, so I had to spend extra time on it. But I have more core as well as today's stuff. That's for my weekly exercise regime. Yesterday was core, but I don't think I did enough, so I will do more today. And then Apex Season 5. So Apex is Apex Legends, a game that I play online. The 5th season of its ranked thing comes out. It's got an extra character coming out, stuff like that. I believe I told you that I will be downloading that and whatnot. Tomorrow is Homefront Mission 5. That's a carryover from last week, because not everything on here is completely urgent. So I just leave it on if it's not urgent and I don't feel up to it on the day. Homefront is the app I use for running has released things to be done in the comfort of your own home if you don't have a treadmill and whatnot, called the Homefront. And they have various missions. I think they're now up to 8. So on here I've got missions 5 tomorrow, 6 Thursday, 7 Friday. 8's not on here yet, but I may not do all of those on their respective days. It depends how busy I am doing other stuff. They are very low priority, but I would like to get them all done. And then to send you this video that I'm recording is also on tomorrow's thing. And then Thursday, while I do have to do stretching every day according to my exercise regime, I have to do lots and lots of it on Thursday. That is my exercise day of rest, apart from stretching. And so, this week I've decided to trial run doing more stretching. Friday, I need to practice kick defense, because today in my Kung Fu, I've gone through more Kung Fu than I needed to. Well, I was practicing for longer than I needed to, so I've spent maybe 2.5 hours rather than 1 on Kung Fu today, and I went through everything on the belts I've done so far, and kick defense is one of the things that I need to practice more. So I need to practice my kick defense, then record it and send it to my instructor on Sunday so he can check it and make sure it's all good. Then Saturday I've got to practice long dragon, as well as mark my height goals for lightning roundhouse combination, which is a kick combination in Kung Fu. Lightning is effectively a quick flick of your foot in someone's groin, aiming for, either the balls or the clit, depending. Obviously, accuracy is going to be quite low with it, but a quick flick to the genitals anyway is probably going to hurt regardless. It's probably just easier to hit your target with boys than girls. And then roundhouse, probably one of the most common kick types, is a sideways kick. And the combination is you hit them in the nads, or whatever parts they may have, and then come further up to kick them in the side. Ideally, I should be able to go from, without putting my foot down, kicking the groin and then kicking them in the head. I'm not yet flexible enough to kick someone in the head reliably. I can only really do that on a really good day, and I can't do it from having just done the groin kick. So I would like to mark some sort of shorter, medium-term goals to work towards, and once I've reached them, I can then move the height of the roundhouse kick up. Because at the moment, I can't do a groin-level kick for the lightning kick and then be able to do the roundhouse kick any higher, which you have to do. You have to do it ascending. So currently, it's like kicking a 6-year-old in the groin and then the head. And then on Saturday, I need to ask my instructor regarding some more stuff to send me to practice, along with Long Dragon, which is the form for the belt that I currently have, which I did December, maybe. But pretty sure when I did it, there was 23 moves, and in the video he sent me at the beginning of lockdown, it had 22. So I need to record the version that he taught me then, and record me practicing the version that he sent 6 weeks ago, I don't know, and ask him which one is correct, and whether he should make any amendments in the group chat that he established for Kung Fu. So, having looked at this, for whatever day it is, I will then check if there's anything urgent to be done in the morning. If there is not, then I will go ahead and probably make myself some breakfast if I've not yet. In that case, I will usually come in here, power on my computer, and fiddle about on there for whatever it is that I am doing. Sometimes I'll just stick on sort of an episode of a TV show or something that I've got saved on my external hard drive, sometimes a movie, whatever. And then I will finish whatever episode I'm on, or maybe finish the movie, or mark down on here, which is just a series of post-it notes, where I'm at, so I can continue it at that point at a later time. So, for example, I'm currently watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and this morning I finished Season 3, Episode 19. So the next episode I watch will be Season 3, Episode 20. But I could, say I was watching a film, I could say 1 hour 23, and then I can skip to 1 hour 23 next time I go back to watching it, and it'll pick up where I left off. Because it doesn't save the pause. And then I will sometimes do some stuff in here. Like today I had some letters to send, so I made an envelope out of some spare paper which I keep in my desk, and some tape, and then I did that. And then I checked on my postage stamps, which are first class because I'm a classy boy, on the specifications that you're allowed, and my envelope was too big. So I folded it and taped it up a bit more so it would be able to work with one stamp. Yeah, so there's that. Every day I do something along those lines, not always like with sending letters and whatnot, but usually when I'm sat here after I've finished eating, I will do some other bits and bobs, sometimes whilst the show or whatever's still on, sometimes not. And then, having been here, I will sometimes be sitting, sometimes be standing. When I'm stood at my standing desk, I can do this and have a stretch here, and still work around at my desk. And obviously I can do that with both legs. I'm not sure how much I've shown you my desk situation. But we have 2 desks on top of each other, and one box here, which I can use for standing, and one box there, well, a series of boxes there that I can use for sitting, neither of which is the most comfortable. Standing's okay, provided I'm wearing shoes, otherwise it hurts my feet. Yeah, and I've recently installed charging cable in here, and it can reach up onto the desk or behind the desk, depending on what it is I plan on doing. In here also I have my weight vest, which I sometimes wear, but yeah. So after that I will come through here. I'm gonna bow again. I forgot I had music playing, I was a little bit scared then. Yeah, so I come in here, come over to this corner where I have the weekly exercise regime, because I'm starting to get used to it and knowing what it is that I'm meant to be doing every day. But in case I forget anything, I have to check. So today is stretching, Kung Fu, minimum of 1 hour, and at least 1 round against the tires, which I'm yet to do, but I will do after this probably. And then tomorrow, Kung Fu minimum of an hour, and leg day, so squats, Kung Fu stances, and weighted squats, which is what I have this for. Weighted squats. I don't like a bench press. That's pathetic, stupid stuff, terrible. Here is also where I try and keep all of my useful bits and bobs. Knee brace, back brace, shoulder brace, arm brace. I also have two of my limb weights. I don't know what the proper term is in here. And in here they will stay for now. Everything's going to have to come out when the ceiling gets done, but apparently the plasterer isn't expecting to be able to get any plaster to plaster the ceiling with for at least 2 weeks, so I figured I'd, bring some stuff in here. But yeah, I'll come in here, I'll do whatever exercise it is I've got to do today, or I will look at it, sort of guesstimate to myself when it is I'll do it, and then go up the road and see my grandparents, help them out with anything they need help with, take them any post that may have got delivered here, because they used to live here. I also, when I first come in here, I always water my plants. The lavender is starting to smell like lavender now, which is quite nice. And sometimes I open the windows. This one's a bit iffy, because the lock's a bit jam. You don't need to press the thing in to open it. But it's okay, because you can't open it from the outside. You just also can't lock anyone in. But I don't see a problem with that, really, because you shouldn't be able to lock someone in anyway. Every day, also, I'll just put this up here, I try my best to use this. You can have, I've got 2 other springs to go on here, but it's really hard to do anyway, for my elbow. I put on my elbow brace for this purpose, just because it is a high strain activity, but this is to help condition my elbow to be able to move again properly. Now I'm going to put on my shoulder brace as well, because my shoulder's playing up. But yeah, I'm falling apart. So the idea behind doing that is, when I injured my elbow when I was doing pole for trying a PD butterfly, before really my body was able to, I wasn't sort of paying enough attention to my own capabilities. Every day I try and do this a few times to try help my elbow heal. Various directions, but being able to hold the strain there, that is the most important part for the elbow, because it was holding the strain that I believe tore it in there. And it still plays up from time to time, so doing that. This is meant to be used like that, or like that. God! Whew! But I'm using it like that at the moment, and it's also quite good for stabilising my right shoulder, because it has to hold the counter, the pull, because there's equal pull both sides, obviously. So I do that at least once a day, or I try to, but I don't always succeed. Sometimes I forget, and sometimes I just don't feel strong enough, because it's really hard. Something I have started doing every day is running. So that's usually an afternoon, evening activity. I'll usually do, at the moment, because my knee is playing up, I'll do 2 less intense runs. So, I'm going to have to speak quite loudly because the treadmill's quite loud, but my usual running speed is about this fast. That, you might not be able to tell. Which is pretty fast, because the belt was a bit loose yesterday, and it actually burnt into the side of the treadmill, which wasn't great. And you might be able to see on here, that is 6.8 miles an hour, but it goes down when there's weight on it, down to about 6.4. So usually I'll do that, But at the moment, because I'm slightly injured, I'm more around this speed, and every so often I drop it down to walking and work my way back up again. So I do longer runs, but less intense runs. I think the belt's a bit loose again. I don't know why, it always keeps pulling to the left. I'm going to have to see if I can find the manual online to fix that, because otherwise it's going to ruin the treadmill. So I'll probably be doing that later. Also, every day, even though it's a core day specific exercise, I do indeed use these here 2 kettlebells, which are each 4 kilograms, on my yoga exercise mat with a blanket, because underneath this carpet is rotting and mouldy, and so this prevents the rotty mouldy smell from getting to me, which is great. And also it's a really nice blanket, it's like quite comfortable. Got a pillow for my head. I do various exercises, one of which is like a sit-up-y thing, where you have the weights out to the side, you do a sit-up. As you do the sit-up, you bring your arms in, but also you keep your feet off the floor like that and bring them in when you do the sit-up as well. I don't know what the benefit for that is, but I do it. This is also the space that I use for meditation, either lying or sitting. It's good. This is also my main location for stretching, and I quite often do toe touches against the wall. So laying here, use the core, not like arms or anything, to just bring up my legs and touch them against the wall. But it does have a slight effect of worming my body away from the wall, so I do have to shuffle back up to it from time to time. Along with that, every day, I use this to some extent. I try every day to do pull-ups as well as chin-ups and whatever the hell these are. But I need to tighten the rope on this one because it hangs lower down than the other one. And while up here, there's other core exercises like leg raises and twisty things. Whew. Core is my main focus at the moment, because it is something I've lacked working on for a while, because it's been one of my stronger elements and it's weakened. So yeah, and also it's Monday on the chart, so when I think I've got my core up to a better level, I suppose, probably when I can do a kip up, which is where you're laying down and flip onto your feet. Yeah, when I'm at sort of that level, I think that I will just sort of work on maintaining core, which hopefully the one time a week will work, and then move on to legs, I suppose, as that is Wednesday, which is the next area focus day. Planks, I hate them, but that's what I tend to do for core. Right, bow out of here. So once I've done that, obviously at some point I'll have gone up the road at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, see my grandparents, deliver any post they may have. I've already said that, but yeah. I don't use my weights machine, my lat pull down machine, as my brother has labelled it, very often. I use that on arm day, but outside of that, not that much. Most days, but not all days, I do, in fact, come out into the garden and do a bit more actual gardening. So that includes, but isn't limited to, trying to pick up any stones in this section here, and just sort of put them in this section instead, because this is probably going to be grassland and this is going to be not, and you don't want stones in the grass because they break the lawnmower, or the lawnmower flings them, they break windows or bones. I also go along this part. I'm currently working on getting plants out, and then potting them, making sure they survive before continuing along any further, but I've been told not to bring these ones up because they don't survive getting potted. So this white flower over here and the pink one over there will be staying, along with this giant cluster of bulb leaf things, even though there are weeds growing in there. I don't really care about weeds. Plants is plants, isn't they? So yeah, I do that most days, but not every day. Almost every day, I punch the tyres at least once. But I have to say that I've discovered these top two really hard. This one has way more give to it, and these bottom ones don't really get punched that often. They're usually ones getting kicked instead, because low kicks are way more effective than high kicks. Every so often I go through my little high knees army style obstacle course. I'm not wearing the right shoes at the moment, but you know, while I'm here, might as well. I have set up this. It blew over yesterday in the wind because it was quite windy. Yeah, sorry. There's a bag of dirt attached to it. But yeah, set up this, which is my archery target for bows and arrows. But I've got it for got it down here for shooting BBs because my bow is way too strong to be used in such a small area with my current level of strength and aim, because I've not practiced much. But also, as long as I don't hit it too hard, it actually works pretty well as a tiny punchback. So yeah, that is most of what I do every day, other than sort of, you know, the usual going to the loo, washing, etc. I really don't know how to structure a day in the life video. I drink a lot of tea, and in the time when I'm not being productive, which is, you know, reasonable, I'm in here playing that game on my computer, Apex Legends, and recently I've added to my productivity by reading that book I mentioned, which is somewhere that I thought was in here, but I can't see it. Oh dear. I appear to have lost it at the present time. Yeah, I'll probably not do that 1 minute against the bag immediately after this, actually. I'm probably going to do some lunch. But yeah, sometimes I have breakfast when I wake up. Usually it's a lot later though. Sort of 10 or 11. I get up just after 6. Where's the blinking book? Yeah, when I've finished reading that book, I will be moving on to these three. They are more technique manuals for Jiu-Jitsu, Hapkido, and Taekwondo. Because the one I'm currently reading is more of a professional instructory book, whereas the other ones are technique-specific learning ebooks, I suppose. Charles, have you seen my book? No? Okay. Yeah, like, I'm a little bit confused. I thought the book was in the office, but I guess not, maybe? Oh god, this is nearly half an hour long. I apologise so much. This is long. Feel free to have skipped. Oh, I forgot to bow again. Terrible stuff. Right, yeah. So the book is somewhere. It's black. I know what the cover's like. I also, some days, work on my own game, like in the style of D&D. Aha, it is under here. I was just hiding underneath some paper. So yeah, the book is an omnibus, which I believe means it's made out of multiple books. I think that's what a definition of an omnibus is. But yeah, voila, omnibus. And I am on the second book out of 2 now. I finished the other one the other day. So I'm going through that, making notes, annotations, etc. All in pencil. Don't want to ruin the book. But yeah, every so often... sorry, didn't mean to knock the phone there. I don't know why I'm apologising to you. It's my phone. Whatever. This is my collection of books and films and stuff. Every so often I go through those, add to them, whatever, like that. But yeah, that, I'm pretty sure, is stuff I do every day. So I water the plants, I do some form of exercise, I do my elbow thing, I try to pull-ups, chin-ups, and whatever the third thing was. I talk to Charles, but also, you know, turn his radio on, open the curtains, etc., put him to bed when I go to bed, or before if I'm going to have a late night. I play games on my computer. I do the washing up. I do generally mess about a lot, like I'll walk from room to room, not really doing much. And at the moment, I am currently going through the process of framing things. That's not a daily thing, but like I'm trying my best to frame all of my meaningful certificates. So I've got my 2 safeguarding certificates, my first aid certificate, my knighthood with the Sovereign Military Order of Sealand. I have all of my Kung Fu grades, my instructor certificate for being a self-defense instructor. I have a instructing qualification certificate, and I will soon be framing another instructing qualification certificate when I have another frame. But yeah, that is most of what I do every day, I'm pretty sure. Nothing else springs to mind, really. At least, yeah. Yeah, cool. I'll go now. This is really long. Sorry, and bye.